But we're here, Kyle.
Yes, sir.
You are a Democrat running for Congress, District 19.
Yes, sir.
Against Jody.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Jody
Yes, sir.
Arrington.
Yeah.
You kind of messed up because you told me you're a historian.
Yeah.
Which is, man, we could do another podcast. So we're going to have to do another one with you to talk about that. But I guess first and foremost, what exactly is a congressman? What is their duty?
Yeah.
Are you going to Washington?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what a congressman does in any district, right, is they represent a specific number of people to the federal government. So you have two houses of the legislative branch. You have the House of Representatives and then the Senate. I'm running to be the House of Representative member from out here. And you participate in the legislative process out there. You propose bills, you get on committees, specifically like Representative Arrington is on, he's a chairman of the Budget Committee, House Budget Committee. So he works on the budget that we put through every year along with whatever the president is and the House, and everyone goes back and forth. And it's, the biggest debate every year is how we're spending money.
So he's a part of this big, beautiful bill?
It's I believe he would tell you that it was his big, beautiful bill, along with President Trump's.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah. So everything that's in that bill, and he's written in the AJ about it, and he's done the interviews about it, so I don't think I'm talking really out of character, but he said it's all his. He's participated in it. He supports every part of it. He supports the president's agenda in it. I can list, I've written about it in the AJ, list the things that I think that is bad about it. But yeah, and that's what your congressman does. They're supposed to introduce bills. They're supposed to represent the area to the federal government.
I had put up for questions for you. And one of them, now that I'm thinking about it, why would you want to be a congressman? It seems like it's crazy. Why would you want to do this job?
Yeah, so I would agree that it's clinically insane to want to do this. It's clinically insane to start off with, to run as a Democrat in West Texas right now. But even more insane to want to do that job just in general. And it kind of goes back to my son. So my son was born on March 8th of this year. And as I held him, I kind of looked at him and I was like, what's happening right now in our country? What our representative, because that's where I think about, is doing to our country and his representation in support of the president, I wholeheartedly disagree with, and I think is bad for our country. So sat on it, prayed on it, stared at my little boy as you do when they're babies and you can't really do much else besides barely sleep and stare at them and hope they survive. It kind of came out of it that I needed to do something. And so I thought, well, hell, I'll aim high and fall among the stars and go for it. It's not really a want for much more than I think that I could do a better job of representing the people of West Texas. And I think that government needs to be better. And I think that's where I'm at.
Absolutely. So sell us on this, man. When's the vote for this? Yeah.
So there's two parts to every race. So there is a primary that will happen. I have not received any other Democratic challengers right now. So assuming I'm unprimaried, the primary would be in March of 26, but the actual vote for that position of CD19, if it were to be Jody Arrington and myself, would be November 3rd of 2026.
Oh, so you got a whole year.
18 months. Okay. 18 months. Trust me, we're counting it down pretty big right now. So typically people don't launch campaigns as early as we have. But we figured, one, why not? Two, Representative Arrington has $2.2 million already in his bank account. I don't know about y'all, but I pulled up in the 2016 Colorado. I don't have $2.2 million. So we figured if we start now, we can do the grassroots thing of where we can spend a lot less, but in going to meet everybody in this district.
Oh, yeah.
I will say right off the bat, money in politics. Get it out of there, Republican, Democrat, anybody, right? So you're already... I don't know Jody Arrington. I want him to come on here. Please do. But if you're not taking that kind of money, it means you really care about the people.
Yeah, and I'm not, and I don't really plan on it. There's not going to be. I'm not going to look for corporate donors. I don't want that big money. I don't want to be beholden to large corporations that are going to make me give up the morals that I bring to the table. I don't want any of that. If I work with a PAC, it's going to reflect my morals, and that's reflecting on working class individuals, protecting some of the things that I believe in. It's going to be focused on what my personal values are. And if I don't match up with those organizations, those groups, those people, I won't be taking it. That's just the matter of the fact. And there is too much money in politics. How many? Elon Musk personally spent $250 million to get President Trump elected. Now, regardless if you agree with President Trump or not, why is one man spending $250 million to get anybody? I don't want that spent on a Democrat. I don't want that spent on a Republican. I don't want that spent on. I don't know why my opponent needs $2.2 million. He doesn't even walk around this district most of the time. So what's he spending $2.2 million? What's it for? Any penny I have is going to be spent on trying to go to 33 counties in this district. It's one of the largest in the country. And I'm okay with that. How
many?
33 counties.
Oh, shit.
There are 33 counties. So we go from
Can
the
I
new...
cuss?
Yeah, I mean, it's your podcast, dog.
It's up to you, man.
It's your podcast, dude.
I can't believe I asked that.
I mean, I think I'm the one that's supposed to ask that. But yeah, so it goes from the New Mexico border out to Callahan County, which is just east of Abilene. And then right up there where Hale and Demet, all the way to just north of like Midland, Odessa. So Big Spring is in the district. So it's pretty massive, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, there's altogether 771,000, give or take, in the last census, people in the district.
That you would represent?
Yes.
Holy shit.
That Representative Arrington supposedly represents right now.
Yeah, right.
So, I've had, right up, okay, I like Trump. I don't want to ever pick sides, but, I guess I would be a Republican. He'd probably call me that.
Or independent.
How the hell do you even represent 770,000 different interests?
Yeah, and that's a great question. And the point is that, you have the election and the majority tells you what they want. And I
Democracy.
Yeah, and that's great. And that's what our country's founded on. People have bled and died for it. And that's beautiful in its own right. So you do have to do the thing where you kind of have to spend time with your constituency. You have to we've had the conversation. I've said it out loud publicly. Jody Arrington has not come and done an open public town hall since he was elected to office. He's done telephone town halls, and I've sat on them, and I've tried to ask questions, and surprisingly, I don't get to ask a question. But that you have to be open to talking with your constituency. So once you're elected, you continue to come back home. You don't stay out in the swamp in DC, and as we just talked about, I don't really even like humidity, so I definitely don't want to hang out there all the time.
Yeah.
It's a little too rich for my soul. So you have to spend time back home in the dust out here and town halls and communicate with your constituents and take their complaints and actually listen to the phone calls and the emails and read. You're gonna be endowed with them, so maybe you can't get to everything, but you should, as a representative, care about what your people are saying to you and listen to that. You can poll. It's not illegal for the Jody Arrington to send out a poll to all 771 people as long as he's got an email address and for some reason we signed up for something. He can poll everybody and be like, hey, there's a big vote. What are you feeling? Now, I have to take that into consideration and you move on. And, those are things that representatives can do. It's a lot of people.
So what are some of the big issues? What'd you say?
Yeah. So for me, I would characterize one of my biggest issues being the wholesale destruction as we see it of Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, the VA. This big, beautiful bill that we mentioned at the start there slashes Medicaid. As of today, I read an article from ABC and the Washington Post that Medicare and Social Security is going to run out of money in 8 years. Going to be gone. So we are cutting those programs, and we are now giving huge tax breaks to billionaires without having any plan to make up that money in the back end, besides possibly taxing the middle class more and the working class more. And so that our answer here, what the big beautiful bill is doing is redistributing wealth, but not in the way that you get scared of. It's from the bottom up. Is how this money's flowing.
The way everybody was like, the poor are going to get the money.
Yeah, no, there's no such thing as trickle down. Any big economic person would tell you that trickle down economics, it doesn't work. The best way to get your country out of a funk is to reinvest in your working class and the regular people that are going to spend money. That's what we found out in the New Deal. That's what we did in the Great Society. That's how we got out of the Great Depression. That's how we got to where we are today, is investing in the middle class, in jobs, and in working people.
Now, some people might say this is socialist stuff. What would you say to that?
If you're gonna call FDR, who beat the National Socialists
Some do.
in World War II, a socialist, then so be it. I
You're
guess.
about to see my algorithm,
Yeah.
what I'm being told. So I need to see what's going on.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been called everything between a Marxist to a socialist to a radical far left crazy person, all because I am a card carrying union member. Like I've been called that because I'm in my union.
Okay, I'm gonna go all over the place with this.
Yeah.
Break down what's a union. I don't even know.
Yeah. Okay. You're gonna get me. Whew, you're
This
gonna
is
get me good.
I was gonna treat this like a civil lesson. That's kind of what we did with the mayor.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of this shit is. Do you know what a union is?
you gotta teach us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a union?
So at the basis, it's a collective of workers that have come together. Go back in history. It's a collective of workers that came together to fight for better working conditions, to get kids out of like steel mills and stuff like that. That's how we start. And then it turns into a strong movement that has fought for your 8-hour workday, your 40-hour work week, your vacations, smoke breaks, kids out of work altogether, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, the VA. These are all brought on the backs of union members that worked in collective organizing and in arguing with owners of companies because they weren't treating workers correctly. So that made it so you had a safer workplace. You take example Ford in the early 1900s, and he had such a high turnover rate in Ford Motor Company. So he brought on the 5-hour workday, and that placated workers for a while. But then $5 doesn't go a long way, and inflation catches up, and he doesn't change it again. The working conditions get worse, and he starts abusing workers. So then they unionize. So now at Ford factories, if you are in certain states, and we can talk about closed shop, open shop if you want, but in a state that says that if there's a union in existence and the workers all agree to buy into that union, like you pay union dues, like I pay union dues every month, then that factory you have to join that union when you join when you get a job. Texas is a right to work state is what they call it. It's an anti-union state. The term right to work is propaganda. But the idea is that like I don't have to join the union if I wanted to go work at a factory. Now, that's bad because now you don't have representation. No one's helping you argue for yourself. You're all alone. So in a union, you're all together. All the workers are all together, and they structure contracts and agreements and argue for health care and stuff like that. So they're a net positive and always have been for the working class individual. People don't like them because they view them as stealing money out of already rich people's pockets, which is just not true. No one makes money without someone working for it down the line somewhere, some way.
So the fact that you're in a union, they call you a Marxist.
Yeah. Just because I
can picture a few people in my head that would do that. Yeah.
But then the other side pretty much wants to exploit labor, right?
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, and I would,
humans. It's a human, greed and shit like that.
Greed corrupts, right? And this goes back to us. We should take the vast amount of money out of politics. Greed corrupts, and so when someone maybe they start a company with the greatest intentions, eventually you're Elon Musk and you're hiring private detectives to hunt down people that may have tried to organize unions in your factories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, straight up paid them, harassed people, targeted people, attacked people. Trump has also been a known union buster in any of his companies, the millions of them and the millions of them that he's bankrupted. But unions have been a net positive for American workers since they've started. And the AFL-CIO is the overall big union that does a lot of the negotiations. And then there's subsidiary unions that are affiliated with. Like mine I'm part of the CWA, which is Communication Workers of America. And like the subsidiary of that is I'm a Texas State Employees Union. And so we are part of the AFL-CIO. And then each state has its own AFL-CIO affiliate that does the organizing in that state. Then it's all connected nationally.
And so what does the union dues pay for?
So representation, one. So it helps you. So we have paid, most unions have paid organizers and advocates that will go into places to help advocate for you and help grow membership and stuff like that. It also pays for protection. So there's extra health cares involved, extra monetary views. Say I get hurt on the job. Say you're working a real manual job. I'm a PhD student, so I'm not working a manual job. Say I'm working in a factory and I'm paying my union dues. The union then helps me with my workmates comp case. They help subsidize some of my pay so my family doesn't go hungry. They hire a lawyer if the company wants to fight it. And that's what you all pay for. And collectiveness it's not just for yourself, but it's for the homie down the line working the other part they now also have that because they're part of the union. You're both paying in 17, 15, whatever the amount of money is to have that protection.
So the insurance companies wouldn't want unions either.
No.
Like Aflac and all that, because
It's all money, brother.
Yeah,
It's all about money.
When you get down to the root to it, right, is a lot of, and I get it, right? We it's the world. We run off of money, and I can't fault necessarily people wanting to make money. I can fault people for doing it. Yeah, but I can fault people for doing it immorally.
Yeah, pretty easy. So
exploiting.
I'm going to backtrack again. This, what made you run as a Democrat?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't grow up as a Democrat. I grew up in a pretty conservative Catholic household.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm still Catholic. I go to church every Sunday. But I went to college and kind of expanded my understanding and the people that I knew. I grew up in a more rural area. So like going and meeting people from like all over really expanded my understanding. And then graduate school, I read 1,000,001 books, and it kind of made me think, wait a minute, I've always not liked rich people. I was kind of taught that. And I always grew up with this, you should respect everybody. You don't have the right to tell anybody what to do, which is, I thought, a Republican ideal. It turns out that it not always is, right? And,
unfortunately.
Yeah. And I thought that the Democratic Party represents more of what I stand for. Unions have always solidly voted for the Democratic Party since forever, but, especially with FDR. And so I come out here and I see West Texas as Democrat that just doesn't know it. You respect your neighbors, you love your family. Everyone that works hard is the most loved person. You want to own your own farm someday. I think most of us want to own some land and do something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, right. And that's my value as a Democrat. Right.
Sounds like an American to me.
Yeah. And so we have these party systems, and this is what I mostly align with. Yeah. And I don't believe in the big money thing. And if you don't believe me, you can go look at Jody's FEC filings and see the large corporations he takes most of his money from.
Want to.
Yeah, you'll get a little sad. I haven't even done my first filing yet, but when you see it, it's all just going to be like homies donating some money. So but it's okay. That's okay. But yeah, running as a Democrat in West Texas is a little silly, but I believe that the values are very similar. People are just convinced through propaganda machines and silos of media that they're not, and that's a huge issue, I think.
Boy, that media, that's something else. God damn it.
Yeah, those people, there's podcasts and stuff, you never know what they're going to say.
Yeah, you never. I don't have this scripted, so I don't know what I'm going to say.
All I can say is, like, me personally, I'm one of those individuals that I would never really say I grew up Democrat. My family was, and so everybody in the hood, you just fall in line, basically. You really don't know politics or anything. But as I started to pay attention, I'm kind of jaded on both sides. I don't like either party. I consider myself an independent. I feel like both parties at the highest level are bought and paid for by high corporations. And so I don't like that about either party. But I feel like somebody like you at the lower levels is where we start to change that.
Yeah.
Getting people who genuinely want to change the corruption is what we need to start doing.
Yeah. And that's part of when my whole thing is I'm a different kind of Democrat. Not only because I go hunting and fishing and own guns and all that stuff. And it's this idea that I don't think I need to be beholden to big corporations or different groups or anything like that. I know the state party well. They're good people, and there's a change happening there. I don't know if you guys have looked up our new chairman, Kendall Scudder, but he's changing a lot of how we're functioning and what we're talking about. But it's the corruption is rampant. It's all sides.
Both parties need change.
Yeah, and it needs to happen. And first of all, we probably need to get people over the age of 70 out of roughing our government. Joe Biden was 80 some years old. Donald Trump just turned 79. I'm sorry, but we can see the issue here with just that alone. There has not been a Gen X president, let alone when millennials come in and Gen Z eventually, right? Gen X just seemed to have not gotten to that level. It's been baby boomers since forever. And that seems insane to me.
Yep, one might argue they're destroying the country.
One could have the conversation that there are generational issues. And I've said this the other week, and I'll say it again. I don't know what someone that is 70, 79, 80 knows about me, but they don't know how much it costs to buy baby formula. So my son has reflux, which, babies get, and it's annoying, and they spit up all the time, and they cry, and it's awful. So I have to buy this like special formula that's like 20, 30 bucks more than the regular like Similac. So I'm staring at it all day long, and I'm like on the phone with the insurance. I'm like, are you guys going to figure out how to pay for this? Because like TRICARE, you should know this, dog. I don't know. Figure it out. I don't know how this shit works. But what does someone that's 70 who hasn't had a kid in a while or is just disconnected know about what I feel? And that's a conversation about term limits, right? We need those. That's a need. I promise you that one of the major things when I get elected,
hell yeah,
is term limits. And we also need to destroy PACs and get the money out. But those kind kind of go hand in hand.
So when you say things like this,
and all that.
do you get scared when you say things like this?
Scared of who?
You're messing with people's money, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they really feel like little old me is enough to be worried about, then I'm doing the right thing. I mean, that's okay. I'm not scared. I got level 4 plates.
Yeah, okay. I got you.
So like at the end of the day, if we're afraid to say the important things, we're afraid to call out the corruption on everything that we see, are we doing it right?
Here's why I hate to be like this. Here's why I'm afraid. Maybe it's the whole system, but we had a democratic government that was cracking down on people speaking out. And that scared me. That scared me on this channel. Like if you spoke out against certain issues.
The same thing's happening with this one, right? You have Donald Trump bringing Plantier.
With the Israel shit. Yes.
Yeah.
It's both of them, right? How do we
How
do we stop all this?
And then so the conversation is you elect younger, newer faces that haven't sat in DC since God knows how long. I mean, Representative Arrington's first job, when you look at his resume, is to go work in George Bush Jr.'s administration.
Yeah.
He spent more time in DC than he spent in West Texas at this point. I have visited DC and gone to like the memorials and stuff, right?
Have you been to the White House?
I've not been to the White House. I've gone all up and down the National Mall. I used to go to Arlington every year for Veterans Day, which is a moving thing, and I've been at the Wall during Veterans Day, which is just, if you want to talk about just kind of like a haunting feeling of stuff, that's deep. And I've been at Arlington during Veterans Day and stuff. But I've never been in the White House.
I don't care who the president is. If they invite me there, I'm going.
I'm probably going to the White House.
I'm going.
I'd have to probably win a national championship or something. If I can like hop on and be like a ball boy for Texas Tech or something. I don't know. Do they take almost 30-year-old fat dudes to go play like defensive end or something? I could probably try.
Yeah. So you had said one of the major issues was, Medicaid and Medicare. What are some other issues that people have that you feel are important?
Yeah. So one of my other really big core values is attacking monopolies. Mm-hmm. So
like
Apple, Tyson Foods. So if you ranching out here, Tyson Foods is my least favorite monopoly. I mean, I could probably go on and on about Amazon. I could go on and on about any of these tech corporations because we're just not getting the innovation anymore because they can just do whatever they want. Because I am going to buy an iPhone.
Yeah, we all
I'm going to wear my Apple Watch. I'm going to buy another Mac because it's all connected and it makes it easy because I'm lazy and I don't know how technology works anyways. But you have corporations like Tyson Food, and this connects to Maha a little bit, right? And there are some parts, I believe in vaccines, but there are parts of Maha I agree with. Our food supply system is bad. It's unhealthy. And it's because there's only like 3 major corporations controlling our food, Tyson Foods being the biggest. So if you're eating something from somewhere at any point in time and you didn't hunt it, which you should all hunt your food, by the way.
Make America healthy again.
Yeah. You're gonna find your food isn't as good as it could be. And I know that ranchers want that. They want a diverse ability to sell their food to different people so they can also find a way to make money. Because at the end of the day, 74% of our farmers in 2022 reported no net profit.
Well, that's scary.
Yes. And what is America founded on? Farming. So if our most important aspect, especially in the state of Texas, which is the number 2 producer of like darn near everything, if we're not making money, what are we doing? Well, what's happening is we're getting these guys into debt and further into debt. And then eventually it's all going to collapse. And who's going to be there to pick up the pieces? Billionaires.
The guys with the money, huh?
And so if you're not helping these small family farms by destroying monopolies, and then my other part is farm subsidies for these small family farms, so that those things can continue to exist. Because I want a small family farm. I want to own some land and ranch at the end of my life if I can. I want to die out where I can see stars. And if we're not helping these people, that dies. That is a quintessential part of the American identity. We're going to lose it. All because we're afraid of talking about attacking these things. And I don't know why we're not. We've done it before. We've busted trusts.
I've heard of, the monopolies. I've never heard about the Tyson one. I never even thought about it.
Yeah. It's
and
actually.
that affects here.
Yeah. Yes. You should read about. So you know the Maha movement. They talk about the food stuff. And that's the stuff that I focus on now because I slightly kind of really do agree with the fact that our food system is unhealthy and that we need to be more healthy and stuff like that. That's all because there are food monopolies. And, you have fast food, which we all know we shouldn't eat and we all indulge ourselves in because it's easy at times. Yeah. Well, they've made it so that all this food has to be in the same position, has to be in the same place, has to look the same, has to be the same color. It can't change. Food isn't meant to be that way, man. Like potatoes are supposed to look weird. Carrots are supposed to look weird. Your onions are supposed to look weird. I don't know if you've ever gardened on your own, but it doesn't look the same as when you get it from.
Yeah, I saw a video on Facebook of what pre-genetically modified vegetables look like before and now.
Yeah, well, I mean, genetically modifying your food isn't necessarily bad, but making everything super uniform is. So your corn is made and has been kind of changed to be in a way to where it's palatable, as it didn't always used to be. That's okay. I like corn, right? Corn on the cob is great, right? But that doesn't mean that everything needs to be the same. That doesn't mean that we need only 1 to 2 suppliers of our food. And so when you talk about attacking monopolies, people think Amazon and Apple. But probably the most important one is who's controlling our food.
That's
they control our health.
I never thought about this.
Yeah, but you got to think too. Like, man, you going after food. Food's in line with medical. They want you to eat the bad stuff to be sick, so that they have to.
And then you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Don't get me conspiratorial.
Well, no, it ain't even conspiratorial.
It's not conspiratorial.
It's like a.
Well, one might argue that factory farming is because we have to feed 300 million people.
Well, there's a conversation where you could probably talk about our diet is not as like the American diet.
Oh, believe me, I just got back from Europe.
Yeah,
it's way different, bro.
Yeah, and American diet is so focused on huge portions, a lot more meat than any other country has on its plate at any given time. And I mean, listen, I love meat.
Sorry,
yeah, I love meat, but we're over consuming something that is technically speaking a finite resource. And so when you're doing all this stuff and then you're having only a few people controlling it, you're just not going to help. That's scary.
I didn't even. We had a freaking farmer on here, and I kind of mentioned that to him. Yeah. I was like, "It's not good if one person owns all the land." Holy shit! I didn't even think about this. So how do we? So how would you approach this?
Yeah. So there are laws that exist about trust busting. FDR or Teddy Roosevelt did it, right? And that's what we probably remember most of them from like 8th grade history course or whatever. So you just reuse those laws. You break them up. You force it. You force this to happen. Now, there's a lot of technicalities and stuff, and I'm not going to spend 8 hours probably pontificating about like this could go here, and we can make it all regional, and then you have to have it controlled it this way, and then you have to have it a public company, so there's buy-in and stuff like that. But essentially, you break it up, you force it to happen, and then you can open up more meat processing factories. They'll get smaller, which means you have a better quality control, but you're also employing people in different places.
So it becomes more localized.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's easier said than done, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
people's money gets.
That's fine. I mean, that's maybe that'll be why it's hard for me to get in. I think that people will agree with what I'm saying, but there's gonna be money against me, and I bet you, after interviews come out, that all of a sudden Jody's gonna get huge kickbacks from Tyson and Amazon and stuff like that.
Whoa.
So the thing is, I mean, you got to get an army of people like you that are like-minded, wanting to actually change it. Then somehow get elected into those positions of power. And then those same people have to stick to the mission and don't get bought out when the money comes for them, because the money's going to come for them.
Yeah.
And that's what you see. I feel like that's what you see happen is people go in with the right intentions. They try to fight big money, and then big money has money. And then a lot of people are like, man, I'll take this $10 million,
Yeah.
So it's hard to get it done.
But you make laws.
Yeah.
And that, I think what a lot of things is people are afraid to say that you can just make a law. Do you know that? You can just propose a law, work with your fellow Congress people and get it through, and then the president 9 times out of 10 will sign that law. If you just like button down.
Can you outlaw veganism?
No,
just kidding.
No. I've got vegan friends.
Freedom. Do whatever you want.
Freedom of choice.
This is a freedom thing, right? We all believe in that.
Little side note: did you catch how I threw my number out there? $10 million, buy me off.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it. I wasn't going to really say anything about it, but you guys heard it.
We all got a number.
$10 million. My number is whatever gets everyone freedom to do what makes them happy. My number is how many votes that I need to win, which is 220 some odd.
Yeah.
Speaking of food.
Shout out to him. Local entrepreneur. Yeah, man, I get ooky spooky, with politics because I'm not aligned with anybody. But for me, it's like it's exactly what you're saying. Who's going to give me the most freedom?
Yeah.
This is like the most important thing for me.
Yeah.
With shit I don't even agree with. I don't like vegans. But, that's your right to fucking be a vegan. Vaccines, we can, I'm not debating with you about that, but you should be allowed the vaccine, man. Or you should be allowed to get whatever ones you want. And you should be allowed not to get whatever ones you want, in my opinion. So who's going to, to me, it's like freedom.
Yeah.
And damn, I still want to stick on this monopoly, man. That's fucking crazy.
Yes.
Because if you can, like you're saying, controlling the food source, now we can get into conspiracies. Like, people are going to do what you want when you got the food.
Yeah.
You're beholden to them 100%. And I know, Jackson Bros Meat Locker? Mm-hmm. It's my grandpa. So, I mean, we've had ranchers. It's like, that shit's important, man. I think I just saw a story. This guy in New Jersey is going to lose his 150-year-old farm to some shit. It's like, dude, what the hell is going on? That's scary, man.
Yeah, and that's because they become, so you can't sell your cattle or your food or whatever you produce at a high enough value to make money back from when you have to sell it to only one person because they can just tell you what they're going to pay you. But at the same time, they're in bed with the crop insurance companies, right? So when you're a farmer, you buy crop insurance in case your crop fails, but it also helps you cover some back end, but you still end up in debt. You still end up in cycles of debt. These farms, I hate to use the example because it's gross, but like Yellowstone, they talk about the fact that they're in debt and they're kind of just cycling it for a while at the end, right? That part isn't fake. A lot of these farms are living off of that because it costs a lot to run a farm, right? I have an 85 Chevy at home. I didn't drive it today, so sorry, guys.
Damn.
But I bought it off a guy who had gotten it off a farmer. And that had been at that farm since 1985. And it's like the big one, it's a fucking 450 engine, 7.4 liter. It's humongous.
Nice.
So that dude used it for a farm for 30 some odd years before I was like, I mean, I could waste $5,000 on this bad boy and then just keep putting money into things as they break, right? And so like, but our farmers are continuing in this cycle of debt. They're owing money to Tyson Foods. They're owing money to bankers. They're owing money to the state. So who's helping them? Who's looking out for them? It's supposed to be Jody. That's what he ran on. He ran on term limits, which he hasn't done anything about and would be hitting what anyone would call a term limit. The 10-year mark is when people feel that like, all right, you've made enough money. You've done enough. You should leave. That's what I think 10 years is probably plus or minus where you should be with this stuff. You should either go find a new job if you want to go run for something else or go find a new job and just go find a new job,
Yeah, but they're not going to let him leave. Right? He's a good piece to that game puzzle.
Well, and that's the thing, right? And Jody's a yes man, right? He's just kissing the ring out there. He's touting the big beautiful bill. He all of a sudden, everyone talked about how bad going to war with Iran was until now. It's okay to go to war with Iran.
Yeah, I was hoping this got brought up.
Yeah, we could talk about it. Because it's all that's in the news as of 10 minutes ago.
I used Grok, the AI thing. I said, what does a congressman do? One of them was declare war. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things they can do.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, can you assure me that we are not going to go to any goddamn wars, especially one that's that far away?
Yeah.
Can you even name a town in Iran?
Tehran.
Is it?
It's the capital city.
I can't even point it out on a map.
It seems like you want us to go fucking die over there?
Yeah. Well,
what the hell?
And that's the thing. So I don't know if you guys saw this. So Congress originally had the sole power. The president brings war measures forward. Congress votes on it. However, in 2001, in the Gulf of Tonkin, there's an expansion of presidential power for Vietnam. In 2001, we kind of just said the president, just kind of do whatever you want, dog. Just keep us safe. We
With
believe
foreign
in you."
affairs?
Yeah, we believe you, man. You know, you definitely have to have our best interests at heart, Dick Cheney, even though you're just sitting on all the boards of oil companies and stuff.
Well, did we say that, or did
The Congress
select
said that.
group of people?
Yeah, the Congress said that. Thankfully, the only person that we can always say has always voted against that stuff is Bernie Sanders. He's at least been a stalwart. I'm not sending people to war for a few certain things in the Middle East. But like I would tell you, I wouldn't vote to go to war with Iran. I don't see any positive outcome. I don't see any need. I have heard this story of there are weapons of mass destruction and we need to go in. I actually heard that same story in 2003 from almost the same exact country with the same exact people feeding the information.
Yep.
I've seen this before. I've seen that before.
Yeah,
you know that
game
meme?
plan.
Yeah. We know this. And I think what's happening, and you're watching, right? You saw Tucker Carlson get in a cat fight with our senator. And it was hilarious. Personally, I could watch Ted Cruz get beat up all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you like him or not, it's funny to watch someone
I don't
in the Senate just get flabbergasted. But there's a falling apart here because Trump was elected on this. I'm not the no war candidate, right? He was somehow going to solve Ukraine in a day. That's still going on. He was going to stop the genocide in Palestine. Still going on. Now we're looking at a war with Iran for what? I cannot tell you for what. Now, if they fire a nuclear missile into the air, maybe you can talk to me about it. But that's not happening.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, don't. I would like to live and raise my son.
I do not want to go to war.
But at the end of the day, I don't want to. Listen, I'm an Army reservist. I'm not endorsed by the DoD, but I am an Army reservist. And so, if my country asks me to, I do what I'm supposed to do. But at the end of the day, does this war seem logical? Even that we're at the precipice, even the fact that we're talking about it seems insane to me because we've seen this play before.
Something could happen after this podcast is recorded. We do not know.
It
yet.
pisses me off that we don't have a say in it. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, the American citizen does not have a say in it.
You do if you protest. So we can talk about the No Kings a little bit. That's part of what you can do is you can protest, but it's also voting, right? And single-handedly, we voted back in Jody Arrington this last round. We voted Trump in, right? He won the majority and the Electoral College. He's the first Republican since Ronald Reagan to win the majority. So let's let that sink in real quick. He's won it before without the majority. And then George Bush Jr. never won the majority and was president for 8 years. But I digress. The conversation is you can vote on your Congress people, and there's been measures. It's a bipartisan measure to bring back in that power that the president has to bring that back in and make it more back on Congress. If we're going to go to war, the representatives we sent at a minimum have to have the say because they're supposed to.
And they should
us.
send their kids if they say yes.
Well, I was going to say the law that should pass is if you want to go to war, every Congress member has to go, and every leader has to go.
Well, send your kids.
How many of them would want to go to war if they got to go be on the front lines?
I'll offer this. There's not a lot of people that are physically fit for soldiering, especially in our government. Like I said, we have 80-year-old homies out there. It's not even about being big dog. It's about 80-year-old homies that can't like walk up a flight of stairs.
But I'm saying then if they got to go to war, they're not going to want to go to war. We're going to send your fat ass.
I have this personal belief that the president. I have this personal belief that the president should have to pass a fitness test of like any of the armed forces.
There should be like all kinds of tests to be president.
I say military
more than
service
just-
should be part of it.
Well,
more than fitness,
so
mental.
I'll speak on this because I have the military service part. Is I'm not in the personal belief that like being a soldier or being a veteran makes you like an all powerful knowing individual. That's proven with Pete Hegseth who can't tell anything but the bottom of a bottle. But I do think that it teaches you a lot about civic engagement and service. So maybe you are a little more hesitant. Hopefully, it doesn't seem to be proving that for the people he has around him that are service members seem to be telling him to go to war, which is again insane to me.
Well, minus Tulsi.
Oddly, right? Because normally she's normally the person that would be pissing me off because I don't like Tulsi Gabbard. I do believe that she's a Russian asset.
Oh, okay.
But this is the one time a broke clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
Here's her twice a day. I'm sure there's gonna be one more time where she's right in this next 4 years.
Hopefully, he's not sending us to war.
Yeah, but I'm okay if the right twice a day is one of the times that stops us from going to war.
Please.
Especially nuclear war.
Yeah, even possible nuclear war. We would be the only ones, us and Israel, the only ones with nukes. there is no quantifiable evidence or any intelligence that Iran has armed nuclear missiles.
They've been months away for what, 40 years?
Yeah,
for having
Netanyahu.
a fucking
You can watch it. You can watch it. Netanyahu. Each time he gets in power, right? Each time he's almost going to get kicked
He's the
out.
problem.
Yes. Habibi is the problem. But you can watch it each time he's in power, and in the time he's about to lose it, Iran has nuclear missiles. They're months away from it. You guys should go invade. We need to go invade Egypt. We need to go do this. We need to go do that. And then all of a sudden, we're fronting the bill. We don't have Medicare, Medicaid, universal universities. But we're going to go to war in Iraq, Iran, or wherever we're going to end up at.
I just fear the false flags.
That's what it is.
That's what I fear.
I wanted to enough fear because I'm scared. So you talked about we can vote to make these changes, right? Now I had a few mayor candidates on talking about not even the not even the mayor race, Proposition A. And
This last one,
yes, last
school
year,
bond one?
last year, new
Freedom Act.
Freedom Act.
Okay.
So I had in there was Proposition A, and speaking of like no part, I know a lot of Democrats, Republicans, gay, straight, believers, non-believers, bunch of potheads. Mm-hmm. So we're over here trying to pass this Proposition A to decriminalize marijuana. And I had a few mayor candidates, and I paid attention. I was like, okay, let me see. And there was a lot of outspoken people on the internet, particularly my age group and my friends. None of you voted. None of you voted. So I was like a little disillusioned and sad about this because it's an easy process to get registered and to vote. And I believe Lubbock is one of the shining examples in the country for voting, right? Like it's that easy.
Yeah, you can just register.
And I voted for the first time for that and the presidency, easy. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about you on the ballot in 2026, it's like this motherfucker cares about us when Jody Arrington seemingly is not even here. But none of these fuckers that the vote that matters are voting. How do we change this? This is, to me, a big issue, is getting people to actually get involved in these issues, educating themselves. You don't have to agree with everything he says today or I say. Go fucking educate yourself.
Yeah.
What the hell? None of these people, and they're very loud on the internet, don't vote. How do we change this?
Yeah. So there's a lot. Social media just perpetuates the I'm going to be loud and say my opinion and then not know much about it and then never do anything about it. And I think all of us fall in the trap on some stuff. Mostly me. I'm going to argue that about Steelers football on the internet the loudest without any knowledge. Because while I watch them all the time and they've been my team for my entire life,
Hold on.
I'm still going to argue.
Of all the things you've told me today, Tulsi Gabbard, whatever, you're from here?
No. I originally grew up in Toledo, Ohio. My mom's from just outside of Pittsburgh.
Jesus, I was about to say, how are you from here and a Steelers fan?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
no, sorry.
My mom's from just outside of Pittsburgh,
I don't
so I grew up that
understand
way.
one
Well,
goddamn thing.
That's my one West Texan thing you can really probably tag me on is I'm a Steelers fan.
But you're from around the area, so that's fine.
Yeah, well, my mom is.
Fair enough, because I don't get when people are born here and they're fucking Seattle Seahawks fans and shit. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers, though. Big fan.
You got my vote just because you're not a Cowboys fan.
See what I mean?
We're going to tread lightly on that one because I don't want to lose everyone else's vote in West Texas.
No, we can get them. You're a Red Raider.
That's true.
You're a Red
True. If you run me through the Google AI things, I was curious the other day. At the end of the line, it says, enthusiastically supports tech sports. And I was like, if that's the line to remember my campaign from, it is. I am constantly like just glued to the TV from football through softball season. So
Raider power.
it's going on up on there.
I had to interrupt you, my bad. But yeah, so getting people
Yeah,
to freaking vote.
and so there's a couple ways that I've been thinking about it because that's the biggest problem, right? So in this last presidential election in this district, all 33 counties combined, 20% turnout.
We all know what they like.
The one demographic.
It's 20% turnout.
Usually all old white folks.
So there's a conversation to have. So if you're under the age of probably 55, you're disillusioned. I know for a fact my generation is, and we're having the conversation, and we just said we're a little disillusioned with the process. So you have to re-engage. So first of all, I'm 29 and I'm running.
Nice.
So I turned 30 in November. So
November what?
26th.
Oh, okay.
Don't anybody steal my identity now that you're doing the math. But you know, it's a little bit of maybe having a younger face and having younger conversations. Maybe brings out people that don't normally vote that are our age group. There's a conversation of the fact that like Democrats in Texas haven't really been reaching out to the Hispanic vote. Like 40% of this district is Hispanic. We haven't been talking to them. We haven't been doing at the bare minimum of that conversation. That seems insane to me.
There's also another issue. And again, I hate to be this way. When the Democrats do talk to Hispanics, it's like, you're supposed to vote for us because you are Hispanic.
Oh, Hispanic and blacks.
And that,
Same thing.
and that made me a little like,
Yeah.
And Joe Biden, you ain't black if you.
It's playing your
exactly
playing
like
your
this.
hand.
I think somebody did say that, by the way.
Yeah, you're playing your hand heavy if you're going to say something like that.
Yeah.
And, for example, I'm going to be driving the truck for the Lubbock Coalition of Black Democrats on Juneteenth. We're going to be at East Lubbock Art House tomorrow. We've walked Dunbar. We have plans for the north side, right? We'll go all over Lubbock, and we're going to go all over the district eventually, block walking. But that's the number one thing I have also heard when I really got involved with the local party was, you Democrats come out here in October, and you give me a flyer, and you give me the Spanish one, or the double-sided, and you vote for me, or vote for whoever. I wasn't running last cycle, so it's vote for these people. And you know what? They're not wrong. Collecting a vote does not start in October. It starts yesterday. It starts the day after you lose an election. And the Democratic Party lost big, so we did this whole like soul searching thing, and then came out of it with Texas came out of it. Our party came out of it saying, big correction. We're changing it. We're putting one of the youngest people who ever run a state party up on charge. We're changing how we're looking. We're changing what we're doing. Other state parties haven't. The national party's kind of still figuring it out. I know what I want to do. I've laid it out here. And a lot of it is I'm going to just have to go out to these communities. And I'm going to have to spend days and days and hours. And Sam's going to have to do it for free. And so am I. Going out to these communities and having real conversations, sitting down in the coffee shops and in the bars and stuff and talking to real people.
How do you feel about doing podcasts? Other people's. I can put you on to...
Yeah.
Three other ones that you should do here in Lubbock?
Yeah, I'd love to. I don't mind. So this is where people are getting their conversations and their news from.
I think this is what won 2024 for people.
Yes.
I got three. I think I can that you should do actually.
Yeah. I mean, so I just did my interview with Robert Baxter over there at the Focus LBK. Just dropped this morning.
Nice.
I'll give him a little plug even though it's yours. He was super cool. It was a pretty good debate, actually, if you guys are interested in seeing me a little more.
You were debating.
It wasn't a debate, but it was sort of. It was a back and forth.
Here's also the issue with when we have people want me to debate. Like they wanted me to debate the mayor. They'll probably want me to debate you.
They wanted you
I'm not a bootlicker. Sorry. Yeah, but I'm like, what the fuck? That was literally like, I don't even know what congressman does. What the fuck?
Yeah.
How are we we gotta start there.
People want to hear the contention.
Yeah.
They're gonna hear you call yourself aligning with.
I'll debate you with the Tulsi Gabbard thing, but
but that's fine. But that's okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
And I have this conversation with a lot of people. It's okay to have conversations that are tough. Democrats, and you're right. Democrats didn't do that. We didn't go to the places where it was going to be a tough conversation. We brought Beyonce out on stage in Houston. Love Beyonce,
which I heard was insulting to black people.
Bro,
Beyonce's cool. I'm just saying what did that do? What did we do? Why did we do that? I thought it was cool to a degree that
she rules,
right? And Beyonce's awesome. What does that mean when I'm hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Right. What's it gonna mean when I'm hungry?
Can I jump in and just say, like, from a personal perspective, like I told you? No, I grew up Democrat, you know what I'm saying? Basically fall in line with the family. But I'm a fourth generation American. And by me, I start realizing, we've been voting Democrat this year. Oh, ain't nothing changing for us.
Changed, man.
Nothing changes. And so what our generation, I'm a little bit older than y'all, but our generation is basically asking questions. Mm-hmm. Okay, now you don't just get my vote because my vote hasn't done nothing for me. So you need to tell me what you're going to do, but don't just tell me how you're going to do it. And then I need to see you do it.
Yeah.
And if I don't see you do it, well, then the next person ain't getting my vote, the next Democrat. We're starting to hold people accountable is what's going on. But then, like you said, too, they only come to our neighborhoods, when it's time to come to the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. They don't come and have the conversations. They don't come and say what's going on. You just listening to who you are, you can be impactful as far as going and telling your life story, and they can realize, because what we're dealing with globally, or I guess in our country, I feel like, is it's no longer racial. It's a social class warfare.
It's always been that, man, but they label it as...
You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
though? And so that's what you need to go and educate and let everybody know, man, you're on this side of it. You're not on that side of it. And then, like I said, more of us that are actually affected by all this, which is what? 90% of Americans?
99?
Because we're not the 1%, you know? We need to be the ones fighting and getting those positions of power. And then, like I said, don't fall for the money.
Yeah.
Stick to it, change it. If
I
it's ever
think the
going to
next...
change.
I hope the next president is the guy that we're like, he's for the people.
Yeah.
He truly is for the people. I'll vote for whoever the hell it is. I Republican, Democrat,
The one we had got
Libertarian. Exactly, bro. Libertarian, I don't give a fuck. Like,
Well, you know, I think one of the most important things to look about is it should be for the people, but you shouldn't be wealthy already. You shouldn't gain too much wealth. Like, you should get a living wage as president. Where it's set makes sense. All these things, it checks. But, you know, it shouldn't be it. You know, I originally, when in college, when Trump, 2016 was my first election or first cycle of watching the presidency and stuff like that is even logical because I was in college. And the Trump thing caught me too. Not a politician, not from DC, wasn't Hillary Clinton. All these checked a box to me. But then there was the rhetoric that I didn't necessarily like, and I just kind of ignored it. And then after everything started happening, I was like, oh man, I shouldn't ignore that rhetoric. Because at the end of the day, and I talked to a lot of friends, and I was like, why did you vote for Trump when he said he was going to do the surveillance thing, when he said these things were going to happen, you know, all that. And they're like, well, I didn't believe him. I was like, so which part did you believe that made you vote for him? I have to ask. Was it that you hated Kamala Harris so much that you were okay with Plantier getting all your personal information and a dude with the nickname Big Balls had access to my social security number? Was that really it? Or was there... What is it that we were supposed to believe about Donald Trump? I believed everything he said. I believed he was going to do those things, and I am not surprised when there are masked, regular clothed, no badge having ICE officers dragging people willy-nilly off the street. I knew that was going to happen. I said it was going to happen, and look, it's happening.
Can I just give my opinion again on that,
No.
though? You're so mean. I never even talked that much.
no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Nah, man, so like just me. What I looked at it, the optics that it looked like to me was, we all know Biden wasn't running the country. It just, you can tell that fool has been out of it.
It's all confirmed now.
So who the hell was running the country? We have no idea.
Senior Democratic people, right?
Then none of us wanted
Not in that room.
Harris as far as being voted to have her as our representative, you know, on the Democratic side. We were just kind of given this person. And then when we asked the questions, like I told you, there were no positive. You could tell that she didn't have the answers. She wasn't really, I feel like, I don't know, I'm gonna get conspiratorial. Like, I feel like she was thrown in there so that whoever was running it would still be in charge and she would just be the face.
She's beholden to the party.
But you get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. Trump was not much better. But that's why I feel like a lot of people did go that way and got swayed by the propaganda because she wasn't the one that should have been running.
Yeah.
If you're going to even play.
I'm embarrassed to admit this. I'm going to admit this on this podcast. I'm actually extremely disappointed in Trump, and I'm actually extremely disappointed in myself in believing he was going to fucking change some shit. Now look at us. We're about to go to war. And, you know, all
But
this
you know,
bullshit that
I'll give credit to him on a degree is he's so good at messaging,
Yeah, he's fucking perfect.
right? I
Doge seemed like a great idea. That's gone. You know, all this shit that I liked. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, maybe we were being played from both
But
sides.
I think the only issue, the difference between Trump, if I say, is he's giving kickbacks to his people. He's not giving kickbacks to the people in D.C. that everybody else has been doing forever. Now he's just like, these are my folks.
yeah, but now he's given, but now his folks are the DC people.
Yeah, well, now they are, but you know, that's the only
Right.
difference between. I think that's why people liked him, because they didn't realize he was just giving all that money to his bros,
Yeah.
and not the Clintons and the Obama. You know, all
What
these-
if
all
wild
the
idea?
all their own money.
What if wild idea here? We don't give kickbacks
Thank you. Listen,
Just an insanely weird idea.
they're
here.
gonna clip this part when me and you both die in
Oh,
about
for real?
in about fucking in 10 years.
What is it? This is the part where we're supposed to be like, we are not wanting to unalive ourselves.
This is like in like 5 years, if this blows up, we're dead.
Yeah.
It's an honorable death, I
Yeah.
guess.
We died on morals, which is a good place to die
I'll go
on.
to heaven. Thank you. No,
Yeah, I'll go to confession actually tomorrow now that we're
I
talking
went Saturday,
about it.
so let's
Yeah.
go.
Unless I get $10 million. No,
There's
Hey,
the number
you know,
again.
I wanted to. Nah, I ain't even gonna make the joke. Okay, so let me get back. I heard Bernie. I like Bernie. He had said this. He was like, nobody cares about trans issues. Nobody cares about the border. Nobody cares about this when they don't have food in their bellies. No, they don't have money in their pocket. Like, none of that matters. So how are we gonna put money back into the regular everyday people, which is like how are we going to put money back in, everyday
Yeah.
people, the 99%'s pocket?
Yeah. So
Middle class, lower class.
I'll plug up. I don't know when this is coming out, but Bernie's going to be here on Sunday, up in Amarillo on Sunday. If
really?
you're interested, doors open at 11:30. It's at the Globe, something or another. I'll send you the address for where it's going to be at. But digressing, it's pretty simple. So you just make a New Deal, Great Society type of thing. A package like that helps American people. We are facing, y'all remember 2008 and that crash and the subsequent post-COVID economic issues that we've had. There's only one real way to fix that. New Deal-like policies. We got to go back to FDR. We got to go back to LBJ. We got to go back to tax rates of the 1950s to fix this. We need to tax the billionaires proportionately to what they make. Take that tax burden off of regular people just trying to have a house with a picket fence and 2.5 kids. And instead, the billionaires who there's no moral way to be a billionaire. There is no moral, I'll say it again, there is no moral way.
We could debate that.
You have to step on people or your parents were extremely wealthy. Either way, we tax them proportionately to their income level. We take the burden off the regular working class, and you create jobs programs. You feed into people having jobs, good jobs, real jobs, not just midline jobs, but good, real jobs that people will really want.
No OnlyFans.
Yes. Well,
I'm
not gonna talk about OnlyFans. On
You're
this
too
podcast.
cool, bro. You're too cool. I keep joking like
my
you're a
wife,
comedian.
my wife will probably come after me if I make too many OnlyFans jokes.
but you got to bust monopolies too. Like
Yes,
you said.
you break these things up. You actually will get more jobs because there's more people. And then guess what? Those workers can now be like, well, this other company's going to pay me more because now there's more chances. And then all of a sudden, your wages are competing and the workers winning. That's
Free
who should be
market.
winning. If you want a real good, actual capitalist free market, you have to destroy these monopolies. These are unpatriotic to the biggest degree. And if you're a patriot, you should hate Tyson Foods. You should hate Amazon because this stuff is just insane. You don't have any. And Amazon treats their employees awful, by the way.
I've heard. They
yeah.
can't even like take a break. Like they monitor your.
They have cameras watching
It's
you.
like
And if you
China.
glance at like your watch,
Yeah.
deducted, go home, get out of here. We'll find someone else because someone else always needs a job.
But speaking of that, man, I fear, we got all this going on right now. It's only going to get worse with automation coming in.
Oh man, ooh-wee.
I just had a rant on this last podcast that dropped today about AI and automation. There is nothing worse for the working class than AI because it will not be used to actually help the working class person. It'll be used to make them dumber. It'll be used to make them dumber and take their jobs, and that's all it'll be used for. It will not help the regular American. I watch kids use AI to write their papers when I'm TAing. I can tell the difference. If you are about to go to college and you're watching this, your teaching assistants and your professors can tell when you're using AI.
Which it sucks because I use AI to how to approach you, how to do my thumbnails, and how to go through a breakup with my girlfriend. All helpful things, but yeah,
Does
it's
it help
bad.
with ED?
It could probably.
If you put it through the system, I bet you get something kicked out.
See, you know what's crazy? I wanted to bring this up. I was like, should we be making jokes with this man? He could be a congressman. But I do think that that's important. Like when it humanizes you and it puts you on the same level as I think that's like an old way now. They're like, no, this guy made jokes about ED. He's cool.
No, man. I mean, like I said, you could find me in O-Bar on like a Saturday night talking to the most random
Would you
people.
say you drink Coors Banquet?
Yeah, I drink
That's
Coors Banquet.
gonna, that's gonna get you no vote.
Let me counter what you said though. Like, okay, yes, we're joking around, and I'm taking it serious. I'm very respectful. I appreciate what you're doing. The people he's trying to go after isn't the ones that normally vote.
Yeah.
And they're gonna enjoy that he's being who he is.
No, yeah, that's what I was.
You get what I'm saying? No, I'm saying.
Yeah.
We got to get the young bros out there to vote.
Well, and you know what? There's a conversation to have about young bros because you use the term all the time, and I kind of think it's fun and everything. You do need to vote. You need to vote where your moral stance is, and hopefully your moral stance is with me because hopefully I've said something that tracks with you, right? But voting is at the baseline. That is your number one job as a citizen. Your number one job as a citizen of the United States is not to make profit for somebody else. It's to vote. Your number one job in the United States is to vote. Everything else, job-wise, should be second. Your number one thing in your life should be your family and stuff, but in God.
Amen.
And then the rest of it is your duty to your country. And the biggest duty you can do is vote. And not voting is unpatriotic, straight up.
Generations
That's how
have
I
died
felt.
for it.
That's how I felt. But somebody over here said, well, it's freedom to not vote.
Get out of here.
Hey, listen,
Freedom of
but I
choice.
understand this last time that a lot of people chose to not exercise their right because it was their right to not exercise.
Yeah, that's what I think you said.
Right. And I understand that, especially if you're mad with the system and you don't think it can work for you. I get it. I'm telling you that I want to make the system work for you. I'm going to go in there, and even if I'm one lonely voice in Congress and I don't get to go to the fancy cocktail parties, that's fine. I'll fly back and drink in O-Bar. But at the end of the day, I just want to go and I want to fix this shit. It's bad. It's not working well for people. We need to go there and have these tough conversations. I need to be threatened by Tyson Foods. I'm sure I'm going to get some sort of cease and desist letter after I keep doing these. And that'd be cool. I'll give it to you guys.
Out the name.
Yeah. No, I want it there. We'll make it a plaque. And the next time I'm on here, we'll just set it here and it'll be funny. But you need to have these tough conversations. And voting is patriotic. And I understand the reason not to vote. I chose to vote because I firmly was afraid of what Donald Trump would do. And I voted pretty much down ballot D because I'm a Democrat and everything. And there should be conversations about maybe you shouldn't be doing that. And that's a whole rigmarole. I'm a down ballot D until we fix this country type of guy because I think we can, as a Democratic Party, fix it. And so voting is just so, I'll hammer it in. I've had so many family members serve, my father, his father, myself, great-grandfathers, my mom's dad. My mom's dad was underway when my mom was born. My dad's dad was an immigrant from Poland who died basically not being able to read or write English, did 2 tours in Vietnam. So at no point in time do I think you shouldn't vote, but if you choose not to, understand that right. But I would always tell somebody there's someone that died at some point for you to have that. You might as well go ahead and use it, even if you don't fully believe in it. Maybe you'll see voting for, say, decriminalizing marijuana can directly impact somebody's life, especially if you are someone that uses it and you don't go out to vote. I'm gonna agree. If you smoke marijuana and then you just chose not to go vote for the decriminalization of it, it's a little silly to me. We'll go and have a conversation about it. We can work it up again. I bet you there's someone out there that's willing to go do that petition again and bring it back through for another proposition because it's a good fight to have. But there's a lot of good fights to have. And you can continue to do that. The petition process is there.
It made me feel pretty proud to be a part of that.
Yeah. Being a part of something is cool too. Yeah. And when you're involved in movements and involved with your local community and you're giving back to it to your degree, the way that you can, that's why I got involved was I wanted to give back. I heard at one point, this is way back in how I got started, the Ella apartments over there, that Section 8 housing, they had no AC in the middle of freaking July. So I heard that and I got pissed. And I was like, not only is it the middle of July, these people are low income. What other option? They can't complain. So I went and called the NAACP. I went and called this county party. I don't know if you all know who Miss Phyllis Gant is, but she's the first person that answered my phone call. So mildly, some of this is Miss Gant's fault. And when she hears this, she's going to laugh. But then I was talking to the county chair and she was like, hey, we're going to work on this. Would you mind coming to a meeting? And I was like, I care about things, but I don't know if I've got the emotional space for that. You know, I'm in the middle of my PhD. Yeah, all right, we'll go. And all of a sudden I'm a precinct chair. All of a sudden I'm the secretary of the county party. All of a sudden I'm running for Congress. And it was all because I want my community to have better, do better, and get more.
I believe you.
Yeah, and it's just as simple as that. That's where it ended up at, completely by accident, without meaning to. I just wanted to write my dissertation and stuff.
I got 3 more things I want to talk to you about. 2 of them less serious than this one. Talk to me about this No Kings protest, because as far as I'm concerned, there is no king since July 4th, 1776. There's no kings today. What was this about?
Yeah. So the idea kind of sprang from when Trump made that meme about himself
if
with
you're
the
gonna
crown.
move that, you got to hold this right here. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there we go.
we had this problem. If I need to fix that, I will.
No. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. I just have to sit up more at the same time. No, so the No Kings protest, Trump called himself a king, right? When
I might have called him that too. Whoops.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm guilty of that.
And I'll tell you one thing, my knees bend for God, they do not bend for a man. So
Ooh, clip that part.
Yeah.
Amen.
So that to me is part of what it is. See, and then he put out that meme from the New York Times where like they were calling him, they made fun of him, and then he was like made the AI poster meme of himself, calling himself the king. And that kind of is what sparked it. And he kind of acts like he has impunity, like there's no recourse for his actions, that he can do whatever he wants. I mean, he quite literally is pumping and dumping the economy with the tariffs. Kickbacks for his friends. How many deals is he makes? He made $1.3 million off of a Bible, off of his Lee Greenwood
If
Bible.
he wasn't in politics, that would rule. Okay,
except for the fact
sorry.
that he's in politics, making money off the Bible
Yeah, I got
is heretical.
Oh, my bad.
But you know, it's that is what the basis of it was this like idea that he considers himself a king. So then it's easy to equate himself.
I'm gonna fix that because it's bothering me.
Yeah. Well, if you just
you can loosen it.
Yeah.
Which way?
I got it. I'll figure it out. This can go in here. Do I get hired as a technical expert?
Please come on. Congressman and snake pit producer.
There we go. All right, I think we're good there.
Might do a little
I just want to take a moment to say I have no problems with Supreme Leader Trump. $10 million.
100 for me.
Yeah, the bank account number is, or I have Venmo and Zelle.
All right, here's the joke I was gonna say earlier. You remember when Tim Pool got like, do you know Tim Pool?
Yeah.
With the Russian money.
Yeah.
And Tim Dillon was like, hell, I've been saying pro-Trump shit for free. Where the fuck is my money? And that was me. I'm like, what the fuck? You gotta pay me? I was doing it for free.
I would have taken it like at least 500, right? Yeah. But that's the.
So it's a valid thing.
Yeah, it was a criticism of, and I saw that. So, you know, a lot of people found my Facebook post about it and the reel that I made for it. There was over 600 people in Lubbock, Texas. Little old Lubbock, Texas had 600, which is a lot. There was a couple million all nationwide. I don't remember the number off the top of my head that participated in one day of protest. It was awesome.
You're right as an American to protest.
Yeah.
But what does that protest actually achieve?
So it's supposed to get people involved, right? So, and I made a video about it afterwards. Is that all right? You protested, you waved your sign, and you chanted. This morning, as you woke up on Sunday or Monday or whatever day I made it, it's time for you to go to your local Democratic County page, Facebook page, whatever, and message them and say, "Hey, what do I do?" Or you go to your neighborhood group page. Or you go to your NAACP, or you go to name whatever organization that's local and believes in the same values as that. You start volunteering your time. That's what you do. You know, the protest is the protest. You protest to bring attention to the object. You protest to maybe even force them to pause what they're doing. It worked in Vietnam to a degree, right? Eventually that war ends because there's so much pressure to stop it. And so. Not only do you have to continue to protest, you have to keep involved. You have to go to county party meetings. You have to go do kind of the boring thing as much as you do the fun thing because it keeps you involved. You get to learn about what's going on.
How about protest with your money?
Yeah, I mean,
Just don't go spend money at
You
these
can-
big
Where
monopolies.
Tyson owns everything. Apple.
you can
owns
donate
everything.
money to rableforwesttexas.com.
We'll put the link in
Well,
the
I meant
bio.
like don't spend money at these monopolies.
Good luck.
Well, and so the conversation is just hard. I just bought jeans because I got oil on my favorite pair of whitewash Wranglers, and I can't wear them because it's like stained right in the So I went and bought new jeans, and the easiest way to do that, because I couldn't make it to Cavender's today because I had to pick up my son before this and kind of do the whole transfer of things, and I spent the day working on the campaign. Is I just bought it off of Amazon, and I just spent like 20 minutes railing about Amazon. But you don't have much of an option.
It's so great, Amazon. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
It's just
But
so
you know,
great.
what you can do is have multiple different options if you make laws.
which is killing small businesses.
Yeah.
Destroyed them.
So if you make it, you can still have the shipping thing and everything.
Which was disappointing to see all these dudes at the inauguration. Bezos and what's the Facebook dude?
I have to tell you, I wasn't that. First of all, we got to talk about the
Yeah.
Facebook dudes. Mark Zuckerberg's like weird alpha male thing that he does when he is quite clearly incapable.
Yeah,
of,
he's just a fool. Just
Yeah.
be a nerd, dude. You were cooler when you were a nerd.
It's chill to be a
You were
nerd.
cooler when you were a nerd.
And Elon's the same way. It was cooler when he was just a nerdy dude
He was-
with like
Yeah.
weird.
He
Cars
He
and
baffles
stuff.
me. Like, just be rich in the shadows, bro.
Can't you be happy being wealthy?
It's what a lot of people. I was listening to a podcast and I agree. He was like, if I had that much money, I would never get on Twitter. Why the fuck would I tweet if I have $1 billion?
What do you need a tweet for?
Exactly.
Someone else's. You can pay someone else to do it for you, homie.
Yeah.
Instead, you're out there just saying the most
Now,
weird
Well,
things.
how are people
I will
gonna
say
know?
this, bro. I will say this.
No, I was just gonna say how are people gonna know they're alpha males if they don't tell people that they're
That's
alpha
so
males.
true. That's like
You know?
80% of being an alpha male.
That is.
Losers. It's crazy to call them losers and they're the richest men in the fucking world.
You can still be a loser and have money.
What was I about to say?
Well, that you're
Oh.
an alpha male.
Can you at least admit, well, maybe not. Let me ask you this a better way. Do you like the Cybertrucks? I love the Cybertrucks. The way they look.
No, dude, they're uglier than shit.
All right. I saw a
you
really
know-
cool
you know
matte,
what-
I saw a matte black one today. It was sweet.
You know what's really cool? An 85 Chevy Square
Yeah.
body.
I saw something that they're making those older style, like
Yeah.
in the modern.
I saw that
appliance.
too, and I'm going to
line
go
up-
into debt.
I will too.
More debt.
I will buy it right off the fucking factory.
Yeah, you're gonna catch me. My wife's gonna be more mad because we're gonna have the 20. You can't get rid of my Colorado. So that Colorado, I don't know if you saw it. It has a Duramax engine in it.
Nice.
A Colorado with a 2.7 liter 4L Duramax. That's such a weird little thing. I had to
Pretend like
buy
I know
it.
what that means.
It's a tiny little diesel engine. I didn't even know they made.
You know one of the cool things Texas did do? I think now we can buy those little Toyota trucks. Though I want one
yeah,
of those.
yeah, dude.
Have you seen them?
Yeah, the little box.
Yeah, man. They got like
First of all, they're like they have the same capacity in the bed as my Colorado.
just like on TikTok, these like
Yeah.
Japanese bros are just driving around in them. They're cool, bro.
Yeah, they're tiny
Like
little things.
$6,000.
They've got amazing gas
And
mileage
Toyotas
too.
run forever and
Yeah.
ever and ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How do
10
you-
out of 10 should
How
buy.
do you jack them up though?
Yeah, well,
I bet you could.
I'm not that type of Mexican.
I bet you if it's in Texas, someone was going to find the way. That's not your type of alpha male.
I'm not that type of Mexican, bro. So I'm good. I'm good on that. Hey, respect to you guys, though.
You're not gonna chrome it out.
As you said, Jesus Christ is my king, Trump's my president. How do you feel about? I got pretty excited about an American Pope. It ruled.
Dog.
Tell
Dude.
me that not rule.
Watch that man put a White Sox hat on is the coolest.
Was that something? Oh, it is almost July. I hope it was fireworks.
Probably
You're
is.
a gun owner.
Yeah, we'll be okay. Yeah, dude, I think it's dope.
I thought it was
I'm
sweet.
so we've made it. We finally made it. We're here.
Our vice president. Well, I don't know if you like him, but he's Catholic. You know.
Yeah, I can have conversations about JD Vance, but no, I think it's awesome. I also think Pope Leo is saying what he is continuing some of the tradition that we were going on.
I like him.
Right? He's talking about no wars. He's talking about working people of the world having the right to be. Also, it's super cool to like hear a Pope talk, and when he speaks in English, it's not in an accent.
He wore a baseball hat.
Yeah, dude, putting on a White Sox cap, dude. I'm like, I'm a Pirates fan, and that's sad.
Nice.
But it's still cool, and I think he's like, he knows how many, like 7 languages or some crazy thing like that. Something crazy.
Yeah, at least 3, 4.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, it's insane. He's
He
lived in
rules.
Peru for however long.
He's Latino and American. He rules.
Yeah, dude. He's 10 out of 10.
I have no skin in that game.
I
Bro.
just wanted to bring that up.
He's got like a month in, and I'm just like, this is the best thing ever.
Do you keep up with baseball?
During playoffs, I'm a Pirates fan, so like it's actually pretty depressing
I was
about
about to say,
halfway through.
how do you have a pitcher who's the best in the league with an ERA the way he has it, strikeouts the way he has it, pitching 1-run games, and he's lost, 8 straight last time I saw him?
Yeah, we are the worst owned franchise
That's insane.
in baseball. And my favorite is always there's always one sign: sell the team. It's always at every game. Yeah. And you know what? Pittsburgh fans have been begging for that for forever now. And it sucks, dude. It's football was awesome. I cried when Big Ben got beat by Patrick Mahomes. I had a few beers, but I was just like, this is the worst because this is like my childhood ending. At years of at least I know my quarterback's going to play well. Gone out the window.
Oh, you got Rodgers.
Yeah, that's
we
great.
just got Pickens, right? You guys got rid of those wide receivers.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and have fun with what that locker room drama is going to be.
Whatever.
Haven't watched it for the last couple of years. But being a Pittsburgh sports fan used to be really easy. Besides baseball's always been kind of crappy since I've been alive. We had the Penguins, dude, and the Steelers.
Oh yeah, Mason Crosby.
Awesome. Yeah, it was great. Everything was cool, and now we are reaping years of success, and now we're having some years of failure. But
we all go through that.
Everyone needs. Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys have been doing that
since '96.
Yeah, I mean that's weird. Steelers have won 2 Super Bowls and been to 3.
No, Ben Roethlisberger rules.
Yeah,
that dude was awesome.
My Texans are the best. Sorry.
I'm rooting for y'all.
I'm actually. I
like Stroud.
If it's gonna be, if I can have 3 teams, if I'm allowed to choose 3 teams, I'm gonna go Steelers. Sticking with Patty, I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Thank you.
Right, it's gotta happen. We all it's just how we all work out here. And then I really like Stroud and the Texans. I have a homie, Jose. If you're watching this, Jose, shout out. He's a Texans fan, and I started watching because he would talk to me about them. And I mean, I watched CJ Stroud because college football is the best thing that's ever existed in this entire world. And then watching him kind of ball out and grow into the player that he is has been super cool.
I was really rooting for him.
Yeah, I hope he keeps the level head. He seems like he has a good one. I hope the Texans can pay him what he's worth when that time comes, because that's going to probably be a huge debate what he's going to do. Because I think he's Patty Mahomes level, given the chance.
Yeah, he's a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, given the chance, he should be paid.
Oh yeah,
dineros.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so if there's one thing that's going to get us killed, it's what I'm about to ask you.
Man, that's
so if list. I don't know if you just go outside tonight and look around. You're going to see drones. Mm-hmm. You're going to see them flying. They've been flying around this motherfucker since December, to my recollection. What do you know about UFOs? What do you think is going on? What's happening?
Yeah, dude, you're really going to get a shot, aren't you?
What's going on?
We're going to walk out here and get kidnapped. You know, what
you
do I know?
Out, I'm not leaving.
What do I know?
I swear, though, if you go outside here in Lubbock, there's some drones flying around.
Yo, okay, so we came back from Abilene a couple weeks ago, right? And we step out of my truck, and I mean, okay, so we're exhausted, we're tired, we were out there for forever, the drive is really long, right? So, like, I'm getting out of the truck, I'm not paying attention, I look over, and he's just staring up at the sky, man, and I'm like, what are you... No shit. I'm not lying. I swear it was a UFO. And we stared at it. We watched it cross, and it was low, and it was going.
Was it an orb?
No. It was like rectangular almost with like a tail. It was like, yeah.
Oh shit!
And we're watching it go, and then there's no cloud. Gone. And we just are like, we got to be tired, man. There's no way we just.
There's something.
And I get inside, and my wife's like, what were you guys doing for like 5-10 minutes extra? And I was like, I promise you, I'm not making this up. I watched drones or UFOs or something show up, move across the sky for a bit, and then go away. I have no answers to what any of that means, but I can tell you, I've seen it.
It's crazy.
Seen it.
You've seen it. I just want to know what your thoughts on it were, because I've seen them. There's some flying. Where do you live?
I live in Tech Terrace.
Okay, go outside tonight. Mm-hmm. Look out, like
to the north, right?
To the north.
Yep,
and you'll see them.
That's exactly where.
I promise you.
Yeah.
It's spooky, bro.
It's not aliens.
Whatever
what
it
is
is, I hope
Well,
it's
I mean-
American.
My money is on AI drones
Yeah, well, why are they flying them though?
to test it out. Look throughout history, man. We always want it to be aliens, but it's always just a government cover
is
up
why I
for
said
airplane technology or whatever secret technology.
They're souping up for war,
So
man.
I think that honestly, it's just AI. We're starting to see the AI drones where they fly themselves and set missions for
No,
themselves.
I'm gonna be pretty pissed if that's what it is. Honestly, it's
probably what
way
it is.
cooler if it's aliens
It's
and
way,
stuff,
way cooler.
right?
If it was
it's
aliens-
super cooler.
Watch, if Iran fires a nuke, the aliens are going to stop it.
if it was
Oh,
aliens,
yeah, all of a sudden
it
it's
would have
gone.
been here by now.
I don't know, dude. Would you if you're like an extraterrestrial being that can like travel across space and time and it not be a problem for you, then you see us.
Why not?
Are you dipping down? You're
Yeah.
seeing a bunch of like homies launching missiles at each other over make believe things, right? And like missiles that they probably are like, wow, they're using primitive technology.
I'll tell you what. Next podcast we do, we're going to talk about military history and what I think the UFOs are.
Yeah.
Because I can go another hour and a half talking about this shit. We're not going to do that. We're trying to get you elected. So
Yeah, we can dive down later.
We just on some Terminator, is what I'm saying.
I don't know what it is.
Terminator's pretty scary.
But it's there. Just check it out. It's out there.
Yeah, saw it.
I think this was an awesome podcast. I hope people listen to this. Where can they follow you, see the news? Where can they donate? Any of that?
Yeah. So I have a website. It's Rable, Rable for westtexas.com.
Rable Rousers.
Yes. So I got this right here. There was a far right podcaster who does news, and like the day after we announced, he refused to pronounce my name right. And he goes, Rable. Well, he's with the Rable Rousers, and we were like, that's amazing. We're gonna just take that and run. So that was super cool. But so you can also find me on basically every social media platform: TikTok, Twitter, or the artist formerly known as Instagram, Facebook, even Blue Sky. I tend to post every day talking about what we're doing, places I'm going to be at, or conversations about what I think is important. You can, if you're interested and you care, you can donate. If you're interested and care and you want to volunteer, I have room for hands and help, because really it's grassroots. I don't have the special interest money. I never will. So it takes homies
Well, I
doing
hope
work.
not.
Yeah, I mean, I won't take it if it gets offered to me. I would take an endorsement from Natty Light, I guess, in
No,
Copenhagen.
You got my vote.
Yeah, Copenhagen and Natty Light. If you guys wanted to like endorse me in some way, I guess. I don't know how that would work. I don't know if there's a candidate form for that, like there is for other things, but I'd fill that one out.
Damn, that'd be fucking sick.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Hell yeah, man. You got anything else?
I guess I'll promote my YouTube and TikTok page. You can check out my comedy at Mr. Is WT, MRISWT.
How many subscribers are you at?
I'm at 82 now.
Nice. Let's get them to 100.
Hey, but my videos are getting skipped at like the rate of 1,000.
Well, don't give up, my friend. Don't give up.
Hey, it's about perseverance more than anything else in this world.
There you go. And if anybody's listening that wants to run for office or wants to come on here or any other podcast in Lubbock, please do it. I think it's important. Other than that, check out patreon.com/snakepitstudios and please subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you, man. Nice meeting you.